Hi, this is Mrs. Menking, and I'd like to welcome you to today's lesson on the difference between serving size and portion size. Serving size is how much you're going to eat from the package that you're purchasing from. So if you look at my handy dandy little bag of tortillas here, you can see that their serving size is one tortilla, and if you look down here where it's got carbs, it's going to say this is 36 carbs. So this is the serving because realistically you're going to eat one whole tortilla. And as you can see, it's a very nice, lovely, large tortilla. That's a serving size. Portion size is what the United States Department of Agriculture, the USDA, says is the equivalent of one amount of a carbohydrate or a fruit or a veggie or a protein. So the USDA counts a portion size of carbohydrates, or carbs we're going to call them, at 15 carbs per portion. So this was 36. Realistically, to get it down to close to 15, you'd have to cut it in half. So this one tortilla, even though the bag says it's 2 servings, according to the USDA, is only worth 2 carbs, 1 serving. So you would have to cut it in half. That's all you get for 1 USDA portion. But we know realistically you're going to eat the whole serving. So when you complete your portion charts, make sure that you use them according to the USDA standards. So if you eat this tortilla, count it as 2 carbs. While we're on the subject of carbs, let's go on and continue to count some more carbs. How many tortillas do I get? Well, I get 2. 2 whole corn tortillas for 1 USDA portion. Now, according to the bag, 3 tortillas is a serving because that's about right. We usually eat 3 tacos, 3 taquitos, 3 open-faced tacos. But we're only allowed the 2 tortillas to get close to our 15 carb limit. So I get 2 corn tortillas, or 1/2 of a large flour tortilla. But what if I don't want a tortilla? What if I want a slice of bread? Well, 1 slice of bread is actually nice and easy to remember because 1 slice counts as 1 serving and also counts as 1 portion if you're using just a regular sandwich bread. And you'll notice that mine is whole grain because whole grains are a little healthier for you in terms of vitamins and minerals. So 1 sandwich bread counts as 1 serving, but we don't eat 1 sandwich bread. We usually eat 2, 1 for the top of the sandwich and 1 for the bottom of the sandwich. So then if we're going to eat the entire sandwich with 2 pieces of bread, we're going to have 2 portions of our carbs. Now, I love the croissants over at a bakery, and they're huge. As you can see, they are they are larger than my hands. And when I read the package label, it said that this croissant had 30 carbs in it. So even though I'm going to eat the whole croissant, it's going to count as 2 servings. Or I could be a good healthy eater and cut that croissant down to half, and then I would have my 1/2 of a croissant, but it would equal 1 USDA portion of a carb because this is approximately 15 carbs. Now we're also going to look at a baked potato here. Why? Because baked potatoes may be grown in the ground, but they are counted as a carbohydrate, not as a veggie. And so this is a medium-sized baked potato, a little bit bigger than the palm of my hand, and you'll notice it's cut in half. This counts as 1 USDA portion of a carbohydrate. Now, I know typically when you go out to eat or you eat the baked potatoes at home, you're going to eat the whole potato, so then you would count the whole potato as 2 carbs, but if you're going to eat just the half, then it's the 1 carb. What if you're having sweet potatoes? Well, I love sweet potato fries, and this is my ever so exciting sweet potato fry portion. As you can see, it is not particularly tall compared to the palm of my hand. It's covered by the palm of my hand. Oh, look, they disappeared. You can't see my potatoes. And so that would be my 1 portion of sweet potato fries. So, what else Ritz crackers. Yeah, we like our Ritz crackers. You know how many Ritz crackers you get in a USDA portion? You get 5. 5 Ritz crackers. Now, we're probably going to eat more than 5 at one sitting, so each set of 5 crackers counts as 1 USDA portion of carbohydrates. So we covered our carbs. Let's go on to fruits and veggies. They're really pretty. They're colorful. And I happen to have this lovely bell pepper here. It's huge. It's taller than my hand. I can't cover it with my palm because it just shows up there. And the USDA says that a vegetable portion of a bell pepper is half of that. Now this is much bigger than a medium-sized bell pepper, but because it's a vegetable, it's okay to have a bigger serving size and still count it as one portion because it's really hard to overeat your veggies. So go ahead, eat half the bell pepper, call it one portion. If you eat the whole thing, call it 2 portions. Whatever you call it delicious because that looks yummy. Now I have my ever so exciting apple here. As you can see, it is close to the size of my fist, and so that is about the size of an apple. When I put it in the palm of my hand, it just barely covers the palm, and it's not much taller than my hand. So this is going to count as 1 medium apple serving. I've got this apple here, again, close to the size of my fist. About the size of my hand, and when I put it in the palm, it covers the palm of my hand. But when I put the two of them together, you can clearly see that this one here, the green one, is bigger than the red one. So do I have to adjust the portion size? And again, because they're fruits and veggies, it's okay to be a little off because it's hard to overeat on apples, and you can just eat them and count as a serving. Now the orange might be a little bit different. When you look at the orange compared to the size of the apple, the orange is clearly much bigger. I know that my apple is 1 portion size, so I can either A, do the math and call this 1.5 portions of fruit, or I can just round down and call it a 1 size portion because by the time I'm done taking the skin off, it's probably going to be a little bit closer to that apple size. So whatever you want to do is okay. You can call this a 1.5 USDA portion, or you can call it a 1 and then eat another orange later. So those are our fruits. I have one more veggie left, but the USDA portions say like 4 inches of zucchini, 6 ounces of banana, 6 inches of bananas, and they want you to use length measurements. Well, how many of us run around at the grocery store or in our kitchen with a ruler? And most of us don't. So I've got a handy little trick for you. I actually have taken my hand, I put my palm up there, and when I measure it, my hand is approximately 6 inches long from the base of the wrist to the longest finger. Now I know that if I measure my palm, it's going to be 3 inches, and if I measure my thumb, it's going to be approximately 2 inches. If I measure my longest finger, it's going to be approximately 3 inches. Now, it seems silly to measure your hand size, but it's actually very practical when you are at buffets, you're at someone's house, or you're in the grocery store, because you're not going to have a ruler available for you, and you want to make sure that you're getting the right sizes. So I have my ever so exciting carrot here, and according to the bag, a carrot is a serving. So I pulled out a carrot from the bag, and then I pulled out a second carrot from the bag, and then I pulled out a third carrot from the bag. And as you can see, none of these carrots are the same size. So how do I know which carrot counts as my serving? And this is where the palm measurements come in. I know that if I lay this carrot across my hand, it's going to be longer than the 7 inches, because I need it to go there, that it says was a serving size. So I'm just going to sort of take that carrot and eyeball it, and it's going to be the length of my hand, which we know was 6 inches, plus the length of my thumb, which was 2 inches. So I know this is an 8-inch carrot. Now it's bigger at the bottom and skinnier at the top, so I'm going to average out the size to 7 and call this 1 serving size of vegetables. So I'm going to eat this whole carrot. It's going to be 1 serving size. These little guys here, however, look. I'm supposed to have a 7-inch carrot. It's a little on the short side, so what am I going to do? I'm going to add this carrot here, and it's a lot on the short side. So I'm just going to combine these 2 carrots, and I'm going to say that that counts as my 1 serving or 1 portion of my vegetables. Why? Because it's really hard to eat too many carrots, and besides, they taste delicious. So that was our fruits and our veggies. We've covered our carbs, and now we're ready to move on to our portions. And remember that the USDA calls a portion of protein 2 to 3 ounces, or about the size of a deck of cards, or in my case, just enough to cover the palm of my hand, 2 thumbs thick. So 2 thumbs thick. So I know that it needs to come out to about there. So let's look at our first portion here. And according to, I've got a little kitchen scale here, and I'm going to turn it on. It's measuring in ounces. Now, according to the bag that I got this from, 1 serving size, according to the manufacturer, that's 1 slice of ham. I get 2 slices of ham. I get 3 slices of thin sliced ham, and I get a 4th slice of thin sliced ham. And according to the manufacturer, that is a serving size. Now, they're pretty spot on the money because this is 2.1 ounces. Remember that a serving size is 2 to 3 ounces. So if you think 4 slices of skinny ham is enough, call it 1 protein size, so 1 protein portion. And if you want another slice or 2, you could probably add another slice or 2, be within that 3 ounces, and still have your 1 portion. So this is where I'm going to measure because this is skinny and flat, and it's easy for me to memorize this. Actually, I just know I can have 4 slices of ham because I buy this brand a lot. All right, so that's my ham. The next protein we want to look at is a common size, which is a burger. This is your plain old regular cooked burger patty. I don't know if you can tell, but it is approximately the thickness of my thumb, and as you can see, it covers the palm of my hand. So that looks like it's close to a portion size, and when I lay it on the scale, it says it's 2.6 ounces, so that's going to count as 1 portion size, because remember, portion size is 2 to 3 ounces of meat. So 1 hamburger patty counts as 1 protein. But what if you don't want to eat meat? What if you want to get your protein from, like, say, maybe cheese? Well, you can do that too. I bought some packaged cheese, and we assume that 1 slice is a portion or a serving, because that's usually what we put on our sandwich. But when we put it on the scale, this particular slice weighs ½ an ounce. I'm allowed 1 whole ounce of cheese to count as a protein. So when I put this on here, now it weighs 1.7 ounces. I'm only allowed 1 ounce. Let's see. It was 0.8 ounces. Oh, that's more than half because an ounce is, yeah. So anyhow, I had 0.8 of an ounce. Now I have 1.7 ounces. So I can either A, round up and call this 2 portions of cheese, or I can cut my cheese in half. And now I've got 1.2 ounces, which is close enough for government work. And so I can have 1.5 slices of cheese for my serving of cheese, and that's going to be within my portion control. So if you're only eating 1 slice of cheese and you've not measured it, you might be cheating yourself out of a portion of cheese. So cheese is yummy and cheese is delicious, but what if you didn't want to eat it in a slice? What if you were just going to sprinkle some cheese on? So we're going to see how much sprinkling we can do to get to 1 ounce. We're going to sprinkle away and sprinkle away and sprinkle away, and that is our ounce of cheese. This is my palm hand. It's not very big. So what I'm going to do, just to give you a little bit better idea of how much cheese is an ounce of sprinkled cheese, I'm going to try very hard to get in my hand without spilling. Well, okay, almost. And that's it. That is your handful of cheese. So literally a handful, and it's not a heaping handful. It doesn't even come to the tops of my thumbs there. I can cover it flat. That's it. That is your portion of cheese. If you want to look at it and see what it looks like, oops, let's put this cheese in here. If you want to see what it looks like in the container, this is a 4-ounce container, and since there's a lot of air in between it, it's not going to be 1/4 of it. It's going to be about half the container, maybe a little bit less than that, and that is your entire cheese portion. And that's pretty much it, except for liquids. And for liquids, as you know, you are allowed, for a fruit or a veggie, you are allowed 4 ounces of juice to count. So this is a regular glass. As you can see, it's not particularly tall, about 6 inches, because I've got my tallest finger up to my palm there. See, told you body measurements are a good thing. And then I've got my 4 ounces measured, so you can visualize it in a cup. 4 ounces of juice is not a glass of juice. It is a little less than half. This counts as 1 fruit portion. So look at that. If you want a fruit portion of juice, that's all you get, versus an orange, versus an apple, versus another apple. So if you are hungry and want to fill up have apples, oranges, or a pear, or a peach, or a mango. If you're thirsty, you can have half of this, and then the rest should be water or iced tea. And that's it. That is our lesson on portion serving, which is what the bag assumes you're going to eat, versus portion itself, which is what the USDA says counts as your proportion or your portion of carbs, fruits and veggies, and protein. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day.